I think you really need very difficult things in your life in order to appreciate real comfort and relaxation. Suffering is hard. It's hard. It feels uncomfortable. But you don't realize that unless you suffer, you don't appreciate calm. You don't appreciate peace. People are not educated on what it takes in order to be fulfilled in life. The idea is that material possessions or some modicum of success is the goal. It's not. Difficult tasks is what make you do something that's hard to do something that's interesting, do something that's complicated and intricate, do something that requires you to stretch your boundaries.
I've started thinking about life and the totality of life experience between, like, say, a numerical 1 and 10. Like 1 being the worst day of your life and 10 being the best day of your life. What I'm really afraid of is actually living a life range bound between 4 and 6. You know, you can live a life just stuck between 4 and 6. And maybe the happiest day of your year or your week, it's like the Super Bowl and your team wins the Super Bowl and you crush a couple beers with your buddy and you high five and you're like, oh, that was awesome. Like, that was cool. But it's not 10. I mean, it's a 6. And then, like, maybe the worst day of your week, it's like a Monday and your boss yells at you or something like that. And I think a lot of that has to do with because we're hedging or we're afraid of the ones. We're just like, I don't want to experience a 1. I don't want to experience discomfort. I don't want to experience pain. Like, anything to do that. To get to the 10s, you also need to embrace the 1s. I'm not experiencing these high highs or these hedonistic joys or these beautiful flow states or things like that in spite of the 1s, in spite of the challenge, but it's because of them. By pulling my sled, 53 days, on my 53rd day of pulling my sled across Antarctica, I get there, my hips are poking out, my ribs are sticking out, I'm exhausted. I can barely pick my duffel bag up to put it in my sled. My body's completely compromised. I'm exhausted. But then I tap into the deepest flow state of my entire life. I find this place in my mind, in my body, in my soul. And, I pushed 32 hours without stopping to the finish line. And I wouldn't have gotten there had I not pushed myself, had I not, gone through this difficulty. I'm doing this because when I step outside of my comfort zone, I grow.
I was trying to figure out, how to not be so lazy, how to be motivated, how to get shit done, how to find the correct path and think about things correctly. Just go do something. Just doing it makes you do more. Do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Understanding that you want it bad, so you're willing to put in the work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through. And the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done.
I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. And I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man. The brain's starting to get hard. I put it in hell. I dissected it while it's in hell, because you can't dissect anything in a normal environment. Dissect it when it's miserable. Dissect the brain when all it's thinking about is, I need to get out of here, man. Open the door. And you said, 5 more seconds. And that's when you start to pick that brain apart. And that's when all this stuff hit me. I kept on putting myself back into the freezer or the fire and beating the shit out of myself. We're scared to dive into our lives, what made us who we are. The beautiful people that we are. We're all jacked up in so many ways. That's the beauty of us. What is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? I'm not going to get the same way you're going to get there. You may get there by going point A to point B. I might go point C to D to E to F. I'm going to be there the same way you are, just a little harder. If you read my book, I cannot explain my life by saying, hey, it was a Merry fucking Christmas, man. No, it wasn't. I want you to go there with me. I'm taking you there with me. The house I lived in Buffalo, New York, that I got my ass beat every day, we lived on Paradise Road. And it was anything but fucking paradise. So I want you to go there with me. You want to learn from me? Let me take your ass home. Let me take you there.
What would you accomplish if you weren't afraid of doing the work. You will sell yourself tremendously short in life if you go through life afraid of the work. We can't do great things and become great things if we are terrified of the work. True champions in life, they embrace the work. They embrace the process. They like the sweat. They like the blood. They like the tears. Good shit takes work. That's just the way it is. And the hardest things in life are also the most rewarding. So why are you not doing it? It's because you're too big of a pussy to embrace the fucking work. Success is hard. Good things are hard. But you know what else is fucking hard? Being the guy who could have been